Welcome to another episode of Kitchen Revelations. Today we're going to learn to make a simple but cheesy pizza recipe in our Morphy Richards OTG. I'll be explaining the temperature settings and everything in detail. So without wasting much time, let's quickly get on to the video. Using a measuring scale, weigh 400 grams of all-purpose flour or maida. This recipe will yield a dough of 750 grams with which you'll be able to make 4 medium-sized pizzas or 2 large pizzas. Next to this, I'll be adding 1.5 teaspoons of yeast. Here for kneading the dough, I'll be using a bread maker or a dough maker. If you do not have one, you can also use a hand mixer or knead with your hands. For those who do not have a bread maker, I'll be sharing the method to knead using a hand mixer or with your hands in the description box below. Also, this is a measuring cup that I got with a bread maker. We need 260 ml of water for this recipe. This is a 240 ml cup, so I'll be adding 20 ml extra of water, which is required for kneading the dough. Next to this, I'll be adding 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of sugar. Please note that you should not add salt and yeast together because salt kills yeast if it is added together. That's why I've added yeast along with the flour and salt along with water. And the last wet ingredient is 2.5 scoops of oil. Here I've used plain sunflower oil. Please use odorless oil. Also to this we will be adding all-purpose flour or maida, which we had already measured and kept aside. If you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon next to it for regular updates. Click on the all option so that you get updates as and when I post. Also, please do share your feedback in the comment section below and let me know if you want to learn more interesting recipes. So here I've switched on my dough maker and I've set the timer and selected the function. Now place this dough making tin inside this dough maker and then press on the start button. For those who do not have a dough maker or a bread maker, I'll be sharing the method and details in the description box below. Also, if you enjoy eating pizzas and breads quite often, I would suggest you invest in a good quality bread maker as it helps in a mess-free bread making or dough making experience. So now you can see that the dough has risen really well as it is bouncing back once you press it. So in this bread making machine, the dough had been fermenting for about 1.5 hours. Now take the dough out, punch it lightly with oil greased hands and then transfer it into an oil greased bowl. Cover it with cling wrap and allow it to proof till it triples in size. So once the dough has tripled in size, let's preheat the oven. I'm going to preheat the oven with both the rod and fan on at 180 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. So you can see that the dough has tripled in size. It took around 2 hours for the second proofing. Now remove the cling wrap, dust your work surface with some flour and then transfer the dough onto the countertop for light punching. Please note that you do not have to knead the dough at this stage. Lightly punch and remove the air bubbles. Now divide the dough into 4 equal parts. Now take that one part and place the remaining ones into that greased bowl covered with a cling wrap. I've also greased the cookie or the pizza tray that I received along with the OTG with some oil. Then take one part of the dough and move it in a circular motion and then place it onto the tray and gently spread out. Now using a fork, poke the dough so that it doesn't puff up while baking. Now the next steps are extremely simple. You just have to add the toppings. First add the pizza sauce and on top of that add cheese. I've used mozzarella cheese. Then the toppings or veggies of your choice. Here I've just kept it simple, some mozzarella chunks and fresh basil leaves. Many of you had been requesting for pizza or bread in OTG, that is Morphy Richards OTG. Actually this recipe suits all the ovens. Only the temperature setting will vary from oven to oven. I've tried to explain it in detail. So now the preheating is done. Next, you need to bake this at 220 degrees Celsius for 10 to 15 minutes. The function setting remains the same, that is both rods and fan on. Place the pizza tray on the top rack and wait for the cheese to bubble or melt. So you can see that around 10 minutes The edges of the pizza dough have started to brown and the cheese has started bubbling, which means your pizza is ready. So enjoy this freshly baked homemade pizza. So you can see that the bottom is golden, the edges are crisp, and the cheese is gooey. Do try this out and share your feedback in the comment section below. If you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching Kitchen Revelations.